what? I'm either gonna die trying, but I'm not gonna lay here and die. I remember looking at my daughter-in-law and I said, I just want to be able to hold my grandson.
Hello, today we're here on Oh Dear. I am your host today, Rainy Days. Today we'll be speaking to the grateful granny who suffers from FND. Functional neurological disorder is an issue with how the body's nervous system works. Grateful granny, how is your day?
Lovely, thank you. How is yours?
Okay. May I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
How has FND taken effect onto your life?
It's like culture shock. It affected me suddenly. I lay down, I felt not felt well, and at that day that it started, was feeling just like sick. So I lay down in the chair, take a little nap, thinking that I was having a bad day. But when I woke up, I couldn't move anything hardly at all but my eyes. I could say a few words, but I couldn't move my body at all. I thought that I had a stroke. Doctors thought I had a stroke. I went to numerous tests, 3 hospitals, Cleveland Clinic and OSU. Had a lot of tests done. And couldn't find nothing wrong, which is good, but yet that didn't explain why I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I needed help for everything. I was throwing up terribly. I lost 60 pounds because I couldn't hold food down, couldn't eat, that kind of thing.
Can you describe to me what the disorder is itself?
Functional neurological disorder is FND, also known as the conversion disorder, also known as the hysteria disorder, which hysteria started back in like the early 1900s, 1900s, late 1800s, not early 1900s. And it was there was mostly women, and they say they go crazy. And they would put them in the mental hospital, then leave them there. Basically, I don't remember the question. You ask me again, please?
Can you describe to me what FND is?
Yes. It kind of mimics your nervous system, like basically your brain takes a break from your body. The signals in your brain are not cooperating with what your body needs to do. So like when you walk, you can walk and just walk without knowing. When I started learning to walk again, I had to say left foot move, right foot move. I had to say that. It caused the insides of my body to go swishy like this. I keep a tight stomach to keep me from doing this. Because in the earlier days, or if I get too nervous or upset or whatever, I start shaking, and I have got bad days where I cannot hold my balance, but it mimics like Parkinson's disease. That's what people at the hospital at the Cleveland Clinic, when they first see me, they say look like I have Parkinson's disease, which was negative. It gives you like extreme pain, like if you have like say you get like a scratch or whatever, it doesn't really hurt you. But for me, it can, or for people with FND, they're like, it's a lot more, the pain is more intense, I guess you can say. There's a lot of things, it's just, I don't know, what's the question again?
Can you describe to me what it is?
There, see, I can't remember things too. I remember them, but I forget. I forgot a lot of things. My kids and my husband, they ask me things, and I don't remember. But they help me to remember things, record them. Some things come back, some things don't. It's just your body's just the brain is firing, but is going like kind of wonky. Whoa, it's not making the correct connection. I guess I don't know.
Can you tell me what helped you most with your recovery?
Helped me the most with the recovery was getting over myself, first of all. Getting over the feeling sorry for myself. The why me. Because it doesn't really matter. And I believe the Lord, doesn't give, us, He doesn't allow us to go through anything without Him. And He gives His toughest battles to the toughest soldiers, I guess. I don't know. But I have to say the Lord, most importantly, giving and surrendering to Jesus, because I couldn't fight something that I can't see. You can't fight something you don't have an actual name for. You can't fight something that all the doctors and people always say is in your head, regardless of it being in my head or not, it's traumatic for me and for people that go through this. And my family, everybody, when they first said this, they wanted me to go to a facility for like a couple of months. And, that was very scary thought for me because I didn't want to go, for one. And, but also I didn't want to be a burden on my family. So, but anyhow, we all come together and we all worked together. Everybody helped me, and we, for a while, my husband literally had to carry me over his shoulder before I got a wheelchair that I no longer have to use. And then I graduated to a walker, and I don't have to use it, and a cane, and I'm not using that either. But I do need some assistance sometimes, when I'm out and about. But and I have a physical, my physical therapy was my daughter-in-law, Then all of us come together and we would exercise together with within this and that, yes, and that and that and that and that. We would do core training, which brings emotion to me, believe it or not. Wow. I remember doing it and I would cry because I couldn't hardly stand and do it. And I would just cry because I can't imagine having to do that in front of a bunch of people that you do not know, But we all prayed and kept praying, and I had an amazing church family that loves me. And perseverance, you just had to keep going through it, You just had to keep working hard. You cannot give up. If you give up, then it's going to take you out. And I could not accept that. And I had a new grandson. And I couldn't just be laying there like a vegetable and him growing. So we growed up together. Basically, we learned to walk together and crawl together and that kind of thing.
What do you think are some of the most common misconceptions of FND?
The misconceptions of FND. Well, when people see me, they think I'm a drug abuser. They think that I'm a heroin addict or a meth addict or whatever. They say, I've heard people, they tell me, you look terrible, I feel so sorry for you, and those kinds of things. And at first that really bothered me because I am completely different than the person I was before this. I talk different. They call it the foreign accent syndrome.
Can you tell us about it?
The foreign accent syndrome? I didn't have it at first. It just kind of came on. But I think it was the more stress because, you're going from hospital to doctor to hospitals. And because they don't know what's wrong with you, they not, and it was at the end of COVID. So, and, hospitals weren't the most pleasant place to be. And even doctors, they assumed, that I was doing things that I should not do, whatever, but then the testings and everything, and they did find, but I think the stress is what brought that forehead accent. I think my voice, my sound, and my sounds have changed. The accent has changed a couple of times. I don't know for sure. I don't notice. I don't hear it as much. Like when I hear myself after I'm recorded and I hear myself, and I don't know who that person is. If that makes sense. It just sounds so weird, foreign to me. I not. It didn't make me dumb, like, cause you'll hear the way I talk, the stuttering and cause it causes, this FND, it causes, speech problems and vision, understanding. I hear what you say sometimes, or all the time, but I don't quite, it's not making sense to me. And that's why I say I'm not understanding you, or not making sense to me, because it needs more clarity. As my ones, I have my older children, one was born with this severe dyslexia, and the other one that from their vaccines they had run high fevers and caused the cognitive ability in the brain to be malfunctioning. And so their learning abilities was a disability. And I homeschooled them and stuff, but they're in their 30s now doing wonderfully. But they say to me, haha, Mom, now you'll get to see what the other side of the world look like. In the learning and understanding. But the foreign accent syndrome, I don't know. They don't really know. I guess, I don't know. I just go with it. Whatever hits me, I just kind of pick myself up and go with it, Know what
Do you feel like people treat you differently now?
Oh, yes. At first, they used to humble me something terribly. I would cry when I would see people that I used to know that known me before, and just before I could really walk. I was struggling to walk on the wheelchair and struggling to talk more. Was not able to talk as that good because I've had to learn to walk, talk, use the restroom. What everybody takes daily, normal. I've had to learn all over. So I recall, when I look at people, and you can see it in their eyes, the pity. They feel sorry, that kind of thing. And it used to just destroy me because it was like I just didn't want to go out into public for people to see me because I didn't know how to explain to them that I'm okay. I get a second chance. I get to do it all over. This time it can be perfected a little better, I guess. I don't know. But now, some people treat me like I'm handicapped, have a mental problem. Some people like to treat me as if, I don't know, honestly. People can be mean. People can be cruel. People can say ugly things. And it's quite discouraging because learning to do things over is already hard enough. But, it's not for the weak, I guess. Not saying I'm strong by any means, because this has been one of the hardest things I've had to do. I know it is the hard thing that I've had to do, but by God's grace and mercy, I'm still here. I could have died that day, but I didn't. I was saved by God's grace.
Do you feel like the disorder controls you in any way?
Well, controls me? Well, I don't know how to answer that because it does in a sense, because I have to live with the new body, the new me. I have to lead. Uh, so yes, I do, but no, it don't because, um, you know, when all this started, I was on 23 different pills because I have severe back problems and things like this, different back issues, and I've had 4 back surgeries. And the last back surgery, they put in a spinal stimulator, and it literally the wires pushed back out of my back, so I had to have it removed. And that was so painful to come out of that surgery. It was very painful. So they had me on lots of different pills for pain and neurological pains and things like this. And I got tired of that. And I just said, Lord, I need help because I can't do this. And the doctors, would say, oh, you need these pills. But they are, like lyrical and stuff like this. They say, oh, you need this. And then it's for to control your muscles and your pain levels and things. And then, these are pills that, you have to have special doctor's orders for. They're controlled, I guess. That's it, controlled pill. And then they'd have me on all these other things, muscle relaxers and muscle spasms and just a list of things. My blood pressure was crazy. All of the, of course, I was on, blood pressure running 200s over 180s and 100, these are crazy things going on. And one day I just had enough. And I just don't recommend this for people, but I just cold turkeyed it all. And I went through some pretty severe withdrawals. And then, but I got tired of the doctor saying, this month, yes, you can have it, but next month, no, we can't give it to you. Or this month, yes. And these are things you're supposed to be weaned off of. But yet I was forced to be abruptly taken off of. And then back on, then off, then on, then off. And it just became a cycle of being controlled and manipulated by other people. And I didn't much like that. I didn't like the way it made me feel. It made me swell up. I would be swelled up real bad. I didn't like it, so I cold turkeyed it all. I started doing the CBD oil with TIC, microdosing, and no, I did not get high. That's what everybody wants to know. Did you get high all the time? No, I am, I'm not recalling any time that I had like that kind of a euphoric feeling. But I am at this currently now. I am not even on that anymore. The pain can be quite intense at times. But if I can just lay down and relax, breathe, and my husband we sit and he talk, he rubs my back or whatever, and I just try to go to sleep and allow the Lord to restore me and rejuvenate me for the next day. And then I just take every day as it comes. I never, I wake up every day, it can be different. Some days I wake up and I'm doing fine and great, but I have days where I wake up and I'm not doing so well. And those days are really hard because I get a little bit scared that I'm going to go back. Because it feels that way when you cannot walk very well and talk and your words are not coming together and it's visual. It gets a little scary, but they pass for the most part.
What was it like realizing that you had it? Was it difficult to accept?
Yes.
Did you feel like you were in denial?
Yes. I didn't want it. I didn't want to be like this. I did not want it. I did not want to deal with it. I did not want to go through with it. I fought it for, a good couple, 3 months. I was angry. I was upset. I was mad. I was disgusted. I was I can tell you probably all the emotions. I can, but I had to accept it. It's who I was. It's who I had to deal with. Um, Being angry and disgusted and all of those things wasn't making it better. It was honestly making me worse because I was stressing over it. Once I surrendered it and gave it to the Lord and accepted it, I started changing. Things started coming a little easier.
If other people watching this video suffer from FND, what would you say to them to help them?
Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Listen to your body. Because your brain is just taking a break because, be, nothing about this is fun. And it's hard on everybody around, including your family. I still struggle with my independence. I can't do things by myself much. I can't just jump in the car and run to the store. I can't just, go for a walk by myself. Those things scare me easy, I get startled, I freak out, I get very easily when my perception and stuff, things are coming at me. I know that they are supposed to stop, but my mind isn't saying that. It's coming at me. So me driving would be, but be easy on yourself. Have grace for you. Have grace in it because give yourself grace because you're healing. You gotta allow it to heal, and you're only going to heal as much as you allow yourself to heal. And the more you fight yourself, the harder it's going to be to get through it because that's part of the problem. They say this disease isn't physical, it's mental. I say, my personal experience, I believe that from being on all of those medicines that the doctors, and I'm not putting doctors down, there's great doctors out there. The Lord gives all of us wisdom, but I believe that some of them just don't have our best interest at heart. And you need to research things, research it out. If you don't like what is going on, walk away. Nobody's holding you to nothing. Being on and off these pills and these medicines that were trying to block my pain, the nerve pains and stuff. Just because you're taking a medicine and it's blocking the pain and you're saying, okay, the pain is still there, but now you're blocking this in your brain, and even though you're blocking it, that is still firing. It's still firing, and when it keeps firing, it's gonna start seeking elsewhere to connect. And I think, my personal opinion, hey. But I think that they say it's trauma-based, which could very well be. In that year, had a lot of things happen, my back surgery, where that thing come out of my back and had to have the emergency surgery. And the pain management doctor I was dealing with at the time was just very, very hostile. And she didn't last long here, but I don't go to any of those doctors anymore. And then your dad, my husband, he had this freakish abscess thing or whatever in his neck, and came back and again 8 hours later, and next thing you know, emergency surgery and tracheotomy, and it was like coma-induced type thing for 20 days. I healed from my back surgery of having that removed in the hospital with him, and had my stitches taken out. Just go down a couple floors and had to have the stitches removed from the surgery, you know what I mean? And then you know, his mama passing away right after that. And then, you know, I just think that, you know, I just don't think that I could have taken it. I just guess that, you know, it was just a little much. I don't know, you know.
Do you feel like you lost something in yourself?
I feel like I've gained. I don't ever want to go back to the person I was. The person I was very weak. The person I was, I wouldn't say weak, I guess that's the wrong word to say. The person I wasn't who I am today. Today, now that I feel like, you know, it's given me strength, and it's caused me to really surrender myself to God. It's taught me, it's given me a relationship with the Lord that I can, that I would have never probably, it really would have taken me a lot longer to have gotten it before, like, you know, but for now, you know, and it's taught me, like, you know, life is very, very fragile. We are more, you know, we're very resilient people, but we're also fragile, you know. What was the question?
Do you feel like you've lost something in yourself?
I don't feel like I lost more anything. I think I've gained a lot. I gained strength, I gained knowledge, I gained wisdom, I gained a perspective on life that I have great joy in the little things. You know, great joy in the little things. You know, there's always something, you know, I had my son tell me, there's always something to be grateful for, and a grateful heart is not easily deceived, he tells me. And you know, this is true, because, you know, if you're grateful for things, there's no room for ugly, there's no room for self, there's no room for any of that. You gotta put yourself aside, and I had to learn to do everything. You know, what's cool is, I remember looking at my daughter-in-law, and I said, I just want to be able to hold my grandson. And she took us serious. So she came here with a notebook and stretch bands and workout equipment, and just really got busy. I even did this happened to me on January 10th of 23, and was 22, sorry, 22. This is 24, so, and December 5th, 23, I did the 5K for the Candy Cane Walk in December, which I walked, I didn't run, and I pushed my grandson in his stroller, and my oldest son walked with me, and because 3 days a week we would do core strengthening, and two to 3 days a week we would walk on the trail. She would take, and we would everybody would you know, I'd push my wheelchair for a while, so that way when I couldn't go any further, I'd sit down and they'd push me home, or, you know, push me back to the car. And I went to the walker, and then they bought me these like skiing sticks, which was so cool. You know, and it drew all of us very close.
For sure.
It brought the whole family together. Yeah, it was beautiful. It's honestly a beautiful story.
Yes.
You know, I know that when I would go to doctors at first, and I'd come home, and sometimes I would have these things, they called them, they had me do this one test, where they're testing your brain waves and stuff, and they stick needles in your legs to test your nerves, and during that, I totally went out. Like, they called it non-epileptic seizures. They called them non-epileptic seizures. I would just fall out, just be like a limp noodle. And that happened for a little while, I think a couple of months maybe. But I'd had enough of that. that makes sense. And it was like, no more. I am not allowing the doctor, it wasn't the doctor's doing, it was my doing. I would get myself so worked up with such anxiety that I could not, I would get, I would just blank out, like, I guess.
Dissociate?
Yeah, disassociate. So, I started seeking out doctors that truly cared. My family physician, he heard of FND. He's never had anybody with it. But he knows nothing about it, but he's willing to learn with me. When I talk to some of the ladies that see me, when I come to church, I was in the wheelchair and I was all crippled up like this, because I was in so much pain. Oh, I can remember the pain like yesterday. It was so bad. And I just wanted it to go away. Even if I had to be crippled, I just didn't want to hurt like that. Because couldn't my neck and my head, it was like in a vice. And it just was horrible. And her son seen me the other day. After, not seeing me since January or February, maybe 23, 22, whenever this was. What year was it again?
You got that. 22.
22, okay. So he seen me just this last month, just June of 24. And he said, I guess after I left, he said to his mama, he said she must not remember how bad she was. I do, but I don't. All I know was I wasn't staying there. And it was like this. I kind of felt like this. Lord, I'm either going to die trying, but I'm not going to lay here and die. And if it's your will, I'm going to get better. But I'm going to fight. I can't stay like this. I'm not going to. And, some people look at me and they think that I need healing of some kinds and all of these things, And yeah, we all need some kind of healing. There's no doubt in my mind about that. But I'm one with Christ. I'm one with Christ. By His stripes, I am healed. People may not see it in this body like this, but I know this in my mind and my soul, my spirit. I'm healed and one with Him. And this walking, talking, and learning these, sometimes, you have to slow down. Where the world goes by so fast. We get caught up in the mundane. Go. And nobody takes a chance to just stop and smell the flower. And nobody wants to take that 2 seconds to, like you do. And as you see people, you got pretty hair. Oh, you got pretty clothes. Or your shoes are nice. Or whatever, those things. It's those things that bring people's heart to a little. You don't know what kind of day people have. And that one kind comment, or one kind gesture, or that smile, that peace that you carry and give is a seed of growth for them. But on Romans 8:18, this has been my lifelong verse, 8:18 and 8:28. This is the, which version is this? This is the Amplified Bible. That's another thing, I read the Bible and I've read it several times before this, and I couldn't remember. That's another thing. You lose your, you'll think you lose your memory. It's up there. It's just scattered around, is what I say. But the Lord, these are imprinted on your heart. That's something that the enemy can never take away. Nobody can take it away. And so I got a Bible, and This is one of my first Bibles, the brand new that I bought, and I read it in 6.5 weeks. It's an Amplified Study Bible. And because I was determined, to imprint this word on my heart. Because I know that if it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't be alive. I believe that with all of my heart. But Romans 8:18 has always been one of my life verses. And they say, "For I consider, from the standpoint of faith, that the sufferings of this present life are not worthy to compare with the glory that is about to be revealed to us and in us." Glory to God. I have more joy and more peace now than I probably have ever had in my life. And then on Romans 8:28, "And we know with great confidence that God, who is deeply concerned about us, causes all things to work together as a plan for good, for those who love God, to those who are called according to His plan and purpose." So who am I to stifle as to what God has created in me and to do in me? Not me. So I believe that this is of the Lord, and the Lord will make greatness out of this, and there will be such a testimony for somebody that is so needing that seed to be watered. I pray that any and all that vision, that voice, any iota, forgive me, Lord. I look at this. I'm thankful that the Lord has given me peace, and I pray peace, I pray love, and I pray joy and abundance over anybody and everybody that has come close and come to watch this. I pray over your families that you will have peace, love, and joy of the Lord in Jesus' name. And so welcome to Oh Dear, and excited to walk this journey out with followers. If I can help or be helped by others, we are all here to just help each other, and any comments, questions, I'll be happy to do my best to answer. And I'm excited in this new journey as we're walking through this. And I pray you all have a very blessed day. I love you. I kind of like it.
Like and subscribe, broskies.
Go dear. You're gonna have to edit it again. Come out over here, girl.
No,
Okay.
like and subscribe, broskies.
Okay. All right then.